Welcome back, everyone, to another Boomer Doom episode of Kicking It with Gab N Chuch.
I am Gab.
And I'm Chuch.
Finally found my jersey, my kit. It's been missing for a little bit. Found it. Thank goodness. Thought I was going to have to order another one. But we are back. Another exciting episode. We got Premier League recap, some stunning results. We got Champions League coming up. Definitely massive few weeks going ahead, like we said, going into the holidays. Going to be very big. But let's kick it off with the Premier League recap. Take it away, Chooch.
Big results, guys. We said it was going to be a banger of a weekend, and it did not disappoint at all. Kicking it off right off our Saturday game, Newcastle Arsenal, 1-0 win for Newcastle. Isak with the goal. Arsenal with the bottle job.
Definitely. Yeah. Some poor results from them. We kind of knew it would be a struggle once Odegaard went out. Zinchenko even got some playing time. That's how bad this game was. They even threw Jorginho in there. But definitely, interesting. Always tough. Going with so many defensive mids. They've been having Partey play a mixture of positions. Urian Timber, who's been excellent all season, still playing excellent. Just definitely issues in the midfield for Arsenal for me. And then they don't really have any major goal scorer outside of Bukayo Saka. So definitely, tough and lose the result again from the 12th minute, are unable to score a goal.
Yeah, definitely, big for Newcastle considering, lost to Chelsea the weekend before, but then made up for it in the Carabao Cup, and now keeping that form. With a good, convincing win.
A lot of possession for Arsenal in this one. Only one shot on target. That's probably the story of it for sure. 10 total shots with only one on target. With 63% possession, that's pretty criminal. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Another massive one.
Bournemouth, Man City. Disgusting.
Another insane result. We all know, well, me as a Man City fan for sure, I know that the first 10 minutes of the game, our defense is always, shaky. We saw it against Southampton. We saw it against Ipswich. We've seen it plenty of times this season. But definitely, Semenyo gets a good goal in the beginning. And then Evan Nielsen gets quite a good goal as well. Both really good goals from Bournemouth. We absolutely dominated, at times. And we probably should have came away with the win as well. 4 shots on target. A couple really good saves on some Erling Haaland potential shots. Phil Foden had really good shots too that, could have very easily gone in 1 or 2 feet to the left or right, but don't get it done. Josko Gvardiol, proven to be a big time, player, a big goal scoring player, and pretty insane that, he still prefers center back as opposed to him being quite world class at left back.
Yeah, but hugely disappointing for City. Lack of attacking options.
Yeah, it's getting interesting for sure.
At the end of the day, should be no excuses.
100% should at least came away with a draw on this one.
Yeah, but we move on. Ipswich, Leicester. I thought Ipswich had this game in the bag. Leave Davis with a goal, but then Calvin Phillips, of course, second yellow card gets sent off, and then Jordan Ayew with a 94th minute goal to salvage a point, and just disappointing once again for Ipswich.
Yeah, definitely on this one. Jamie Vardy assist, Liam Delap, no goals, but still, definitely at the end of the day, Ipswich still played well despite having a red card. The still had 42% possession. They took their chances when they got them. 2 shots on target and a goal from one. Leicester opposed to them, they had 6. But yeah, definitely interesting. I would say this one for me, I think I predicted Leicester should have easily won, which I thought they should have, but they didn't.
Yeah, agreed. Move on to Liverpool Brighton. This one was a pretty good game. Brighton took a 1-0 lead fairly on, and then Liverpool had to grind out to get those 2 goals, and in quick
Yeah,
succession too.
this is definitely was one of the other ones too. We saw Newcastle win right in the morning, and then Man City go down 2-0. Then you see Liverpool go down 1-0. You're like, what the heck's going on? Surely one of them would have to come back, and surely one of them did. Liverpool, Mo Salah, big Mo Salah guy. I
Yeah,
am for sure. Guy's unreal.
came
You
in
know,
clutch.
yeah, he's absolutely clutch for his team always. Cody Gakpo also coming off a really hot midweek match where he scored an absolute banger. Gets another goal here. But definitely, I think I thought that Brighton played quite well as well. But it's kind of been the story of their season too. Blowing leads. I think on a stat earlier that I saw in the Fulham Brentford game, they're top 5 in points conceded after leading in a game. So definitely tough for them. They had a good amount of shots, but Liverpool got it done with less possession.
Yeah, definitely. Subs played a huge part. Uh, Konate came off. Curtis Jones came on, made a difference. Luis Diaz came on, made a difference. And that was just, you could argue, that was the difference between Liverpool and Man City. Just the quality of subs that were available.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely interesting. Pep only said a few of us. I think I was saying 13 would be available for the match. We saw De Bruyne, we saw Savinho on the bench as well. Um, you know, I think he said they were never actually going to play, but they were on the bench. Kyle Walker, who wasn't expected to play until at least the break, did end up getting the start. Um, definitely some interesting moves there, but Mateus Nunes did get the start as well. Yeah, just nowhere to really go in the subs. Couldn't go with half of them. McAtee played pretty poor during the week, so definitely Liverpool subs though are quite good. Curtis Jones comes on, get the assist with Mo Salah. That's a really good one. Cody Gakpo has been a sub most of the season. But yeah, definitely Joe Gomez still top quality player, rarely gets playing time there. Endo, who was unreal last season. Connor Bradley, who's been unreal, in the time he's got. Good to see Evan Ferguson once again touch the pitch. Jorginho Rudder. If EAFC players, they know Jorginho Rudder's an absolute demon.
Okay. But yeah, good one for Liverpool. You know, slot ball coming in for them, and
Yeah.
we'll move on to an insane game. This game was absolutely insane. Forest West Ham. Forest with a 3-0 win. Um, we had a goal from Chris Wood. Pretty good goal from Hudson Odoi that just a nice curler that just evaded all the defenders and the goalie just dove low. And then a banger from Olaina to seal it off.
Yeah, definitely. This was a good one for me. I mean, I called it a bit. I I can't say that necessarily I'm a big Forest fan, but definitely favor Forest a lot. You know, just something about that team that had the glory once before, and lost it so bad, it just it's got you rooting for them a bit. My club's been in the gutter before. It's just relatable, guess you could say. Um, but definitely, I mean, top 3 in the Premier League after this win, a decisive win, one that we said, could be a turning point for West Ham and maybe show off a fluke of a season from Forrest, but Forrest absolutely dominate in spectacular fashion. Chris was proven to be one of the top seasons so far. He's proven to be one of the top strikers of the season so far.
Yeah, he's absolutely just fit into this team. Last season we saw when you get a lot of the starts, Chris Wood was not. He looked like Chris Wood wasn't the definite starter, and he certainly made a case in the name. He's Premier League proven. He'll get you goals. He's played Burnley, Newcastle. He's been in there. He's done that, and he's just a great addition to this. You can argue fairly young team. You got Gibbs White who's young, Adoy who's young, Long who's young, and
Yeah, definitely.
they're still meshing, trying to mesh, find the perfect balance, and you can hope that they only get better. Because last season they definitely struggled.
Yeah, almost got relegated there. We talked about it a lot last season. I mean, just the lack of anything they had in the final third. And I'd probably say, it's very, very similar this season outside of Chris Wood because, I mean, Chris Wood's been putting a lot of goals in, but, you're not necessarily getting a lot of goals from Hudson Odoi and Alonga and Gibbs White. So, I mean, you could potentially say that it is quite spectacular that Chris Wood's having the season is putting them where they're at. Um, but, I mean, Hudson Odoi, has been sprinkling in some stuff the last few weeks. Gibbs White, not necessarily as essential in the goals and assists range, but that doesn't always factor in. He's definitely a huge part of their attack. But yeah, I just like what they're doing. Alonga too, for me, a bit can be complacent. Doesn't really look like you need to have him on the field at times, but there's other times where you're like, this guy's dominating. So definitely tough, but I still really like him. I mean, this is one of their best starts, and I saw 25 years. So definitely an interesting one. We'll see what happens. We saw it with Villa last season, top of the league for a little while. And then, they fell down to the fourth spot, but still could be good. I mean, if Nottingham Forest qualify for Champions League, I mean, that would be quite spectacular. You'll
Insane.
probably see a lot more money get pumped back in the club.
They
I
already
mean, who
pumped enough.
knows? Yeah, who knows,
No.
though?
But yeah, great win for them. West Ham continue to be poor. It didn't help with Edson Alvarez getting, second yellow, getting sent off,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
still many questions over the manager if he'll stay, what's going on, because it's not working from what we're seeing.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of criticism about David Moyes last season, not producing results. Got rid of him. Now they're even in worse position. Um,
Back at square one, buddy.
would be definitely interested to see because there's a lot of options available at the manager spot right now. Can't imagine any really high profile person would take it. Maybe outside like of Eric Ten Hag, maybe, but still, I could feel like I doubt like a Xavi would take it, even though it's been rumored that he wants to come to the Premier League. Um, but yeah, just quite interesting for me for sure. Um, I don't know. I don't think he makes it to the next break, the next transfer window, even.
Yeah, it's a lot of uncertainty, but we move on to Southampton Everton. Southampton with a 1-0 win. A great win for them, especially, Everton who's been playing better as of late, and Southampton get the first win of the season thanks to a goal by Adam Armstrong.
Yeah, this is definitely one for me. I was shocked of. Everton have been playing really, really well as of late. Really good defensively. Tarkowski's been back. Braithwaite's been back. in a sub basis, but still, back nonetheless. But yeah, just definitely shocking for me. I mean, good on Southampton, they get their win, but unfortunately, this will be their one and done for the Prem, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Aaron Ramsdale had a pretty decent game, especially because Everton had a lot of shots, um, but really did lack in possession.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's all I got for that one.
Yeah, we move on to the last Saturday game. This game was a nice game. We had Wolves Palace 2-2.
Wolves, man, I don't know. I say they're not a bad team, and I don't think still that they're a bad team. But man, they
Sometimes it's
blow their
just
chances. It's either they blow their chances or they come back insanely. Like there's no in between for them right now. I mean, they got a point. That's great, but something they probably thought and felt they should have had a win on. You know, both center backs scoring off set pieces.
mm-hmm.
Always tough. Chalobah's was a very good strike from a center back for sure. Wasn't a header or anything. It was actual, drop to him, back post, and he banged it in. Pretty good goal. Gahey almost unmarked in the back post. Tough as well. But Wolves played really good ball again, like I always say, and it's just so unfortunate for them at times.
Yeah. Cunha did good. Larson got the goal. Um, and I don't know. It's just from what from last episode. We were hoping that this was going to be the game that Wolves just try to turn it around, but just they were close. They were so close, but defensive mistakes, defensive errors, like both goals coming off set pieces. Just you got to do better at that point. They did so well. Mateta was quiet. Nketiah was quiet. Like you did everything you can, you know, throughout the game to not concede, and then you just concede off set pieces. And unfortunately, the way they've been playing, we've been saying Wolves aren't a bad team. If you watch these games, they don't play bad, but it's games like this where it's just like super disappointing because they should have won this game.
Yeah, definitely. Was one, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take some tough coming back, but I think Wolves could still do it. If not, I mean, that'll be one of the toughest relegations I've seen in a while. The team, they got so many good players. They weren't the worst last season. A lot of the same players. It's definitely interesting. Probably could be a managerial change at some point if they keep going this route. But yeah,
So that wraps up our Saturday games. We move on to Sunday, Super Sunday. We got some great games. First up, Tottenham Villa. Tottenham, the 4-1 win. Great game from Solanke.
yeah. Finally finds his form, gets the double, the brace. Um, really good goal off the first one, staying on side. Was easier. I mean, I guess you could say both were very easy ones, but still good positioning, good run on the first timing. The second one was a really good ball from Richarlison, which led to an easy tap in. But either way, I mean that's kind of the striker that Tottenham were looking for. One that could score the easy ones. They haven't had it in a while. Well, obviously Harry Kane, but they definitely missed it last season. And then they tried to play Son up there, who's not natural born striker. A lot better on the wing. But yeah, there seems to be they're getting in a groove for sure. And I mean that could definitely be dangerous because, like we said, on paper they're a world class team. looks like they can compete with anyone on paper, but it hasn't quite translated yet. This one, this one for me is it's not. I don't know. It's not necessarily a decisive one for me. Saying like, oh yeah, freaking, Tottenham's back. It's just more. I don't know. For me, this one was more Aston Villa maybe not taking their chances as they should have.
Yeah, but I feel like Richarlison did. He came on, got played pretty well, and fortunately got subbed off from what appeared to be an injury. And then James Madison at the end, free kick to just completely seal the game.
Yeah. This was an interesting one as well. Timo Werner didn't get in the game at all after having a spectacular game against Man City.
Yeah,
Still a lot of chances he missed, but still quite unbelievable game from him. Doesn't get, even a few minutes after a 4-1 win. Heung-min Son, did get subbed off for Richarlison, but still, even having the next sub after Richarlison had to come off, you know, even not getting that chance over like an Archie Gray is quite, unbelievable, I guess you could say.
yeah, but yeah, big win for Spurs. Very disappointing from Villa, and we move
Yeah.
on to Man United Chelsea. 1-1 draw. Soft pen given to Man United, and a banger by Caicedo outside
Yeah.
the box. Volley,
Yeah,
mate.
definitely a clean shot. I noticed in usually Premier League or NBC Sports puts out every goal of the week. The Man United pen was so soft it wasn't even in the video. It wasn't even in the video. They forgot to put it in because it was that bad. But anyway, yeah, this was a good one for me. I don't think that this was a snooze fest for sure. It was a really good game. Thought Man United played with some identity. They weren't all over the place. I'd say as they had been with Ten Hag. They played the ball a lot more forward than just chucking it up. Um, yeah, I mean, Bruno hasn't done much all season. No, I don't think he has a single goal. That's not a penalty. Um, I think at this point, though, it's time to try to find someone else. I mean, Bruno is he's got to go for me. He's got to go. He's not a very good captain for me. I'm sure they'd probably actually keep him as a captain because the next manager in line officially is from Sporting. He's Portuguese. I'm sure they won't have a disconnect there, but I just think it's time. Bruno hasn't been great for them, not even nearly close to. I think De Ligt would be a better captain choice. Alessandro Martinez would be a better captain choice. Even a Christian Eriksen, for me, I really love Christian Eriksen. But yeah, definitely something needs to change. I mean, it's changing. That's not a bad result. And Chelsea, I mean, had a lot of good, runs, a lot of good team building. Just nothing too much more to show for it outside of a moment of brilliance from Caicedo.
Yeah, definitely agree. I feel like defense wise, Reece James solid, Cole solid, Fofana was pretty good. The only one that was poor and was surprising to me was Gusto. I feel like that's why you saw him get subbed off at the after half. And then Caicedo and Lavia in the midfield was doing pretty good. They kind of have an understanding of what they expect from each other. Um, that we would what we originally expected from Caicedo and Enzo, which is why we're not seeing Enzo play right now. But that only means Enzo's gonna have to work even harder to get back into the team because Maresca said it from the start. He knows what he wants from the players. He knows what he expects, and he's not going to settle for anything less. So, to bench a player of Enzo's caliber, paid all the money for him. We know what he can do. World Cup winner, and hopefully this is the push that he needs to fight back and get into the starting team.
This one for me, I mean, I don't know. Should have never happened in the first place. I mean, Conor Gallagher for me would be unreal alongside Caicedo, which I mean, Caicedo's been quite solid. A majority, I'd say, of his Chelsea career. A lot of people just, prey on the mistakes for sure, but, had a rough start. Everyone's been badgering him since, but he's been quite unreal for sure.
Best midfielder right now.
Enzo as well. I mean, I felt Enzo was getting a lot of hate for, nothing. This guy was playing, balls 40 yards down the other way that were perfect on point, switching the field, being the pivot. He was doing absolutely everything, getting in the box, staying on the edge of the box once they got in. Still, I still think that, he's even better. Lavia for me is good, but, Enzo just, for me, I don't understand it still. But I mean, that's what it is. Enzo definitely, I mean, for me, I'd be looking for a move if I were Enzo at this point. Hasn't gone your way. Atletico would probably be a really good spot for him. That's what I would say anyway.
From what we've heard, looks like Madrid want him for a Tchouaméni swap.
Yeah, that would be quite unreal.
Yeah, if him in that system would absolutely cook. The heir to Tony Cruz.
It would make a lot of sense for sure. For me, with Enzo, not sure about the Tchouaméni though. Tchouaméni, I don't know. He's so good as well.
But him next
It'd
to
definitely be
Caicedo could
tough.
also be an insane midfield pairing.
Tchouaméni ain't leaving Madrid to come to Chelsea, mate. Hate to break it to you.
Buddy, if Madrid want a player, they're going to sacrifice someone, buddy.
Hate to break it to you, no way.
But, yeah, not happy with the result. I feel like we played better against Liverpool when we lost compared to this game where we actually got a point. So
Yeah, potentially for sure. I thought Hoyland played really good too.
Body.
Rashford played quite well as well. Got in a couple of dangerous positions. Nothing too much from Garnacho. There was that one really good cross that landed at his feet, and he just took it with his weak foot. Not really any power behind it, but that was definitely a goal scoring opportunity he could have taken advantage of. But yeah, I mean, really good game. I thought it was pretty end to end, I'd say, and
Even
some
until
decent
then,
quality
yeah.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah. But we move on to our Monday night game. Fulham Brentford. Brilliance. Absolute brilliance from Harry Wilson.
Yeah. This was unreal for me. I watched the entirety of the game. First one, first shot, potential banger of the week as well. Vitaly Janelt, absolute cracker of a shot, left foot. Um, really good goal. And I felt like Fulham were really, really pushing. They should have had a goal before this. Reece Nelson played out of his mind, but was not able to produce, an end result, which is kind of what he was hoping to do. He got the start over Adama Traore for that reason. Adama Traore, very, very dangerous, doesn't always produce the result. But Reece Nelson, almost had nearly the same. Really good game from him, though. But, eventually unable to score. He gets subbed off. Harry Wilson comes on. Um, it was quite unreal. You know, Brentford switched to a lot very defensive, 5 in the back. They went with Ben Mee got an appearance. My goodness, finally. Had a really couple good clearances, but once they subbed down Adama Traore, which I felt like they needed a lot of this game just because, you know, they weren't really getting the bodies in on the crosses. There wasn't really too many great crosses from the right. Anthony Robinson, one of the best, in my opinion, crossing off that left side, did quite well. Just not able to catch anything until very, very late. But Adama Traore comes in, gets the assist to Harry Wilson. Next assist comes from Anthony Robinson. Absolute stunner, both in stoppage time. I thought, you know, it looked out of hope. Fulham had, I know it's going to be crazy, hold on, 11 corners the entire game. You know, Brentford have yet to concede a set piece, and Fulham have yet to score from a corner. So it was quite unreal. Both records still intact, but definitely, you know, it just seemed like it was not going to happen. 67% possession for Fulham, 12 shots on target, 26 shots total. You know, they were having a go, and it just wasn't working until the very, very end. Both of these goals, absolute class for me too. You know,
Yeah,
absolute dink.
that flick from
Yeah,
Wilson, just absolutely insane to get that off and to get into the back of the net is insane.
it's almost unreal. I mean, shoot, freaking Mark Flecken, probably the man of the match for me outside of Harry Wilson. Um, had quite a bit of good saves. You know, just truly unfortunate that first one. You know, such a weird, rare angle, and the second one was definitely tough as well. But yeah, still really good play from Fulham. You know, they always did what they wanted to do. They weren't scoring goals for lack of trying. They were still getting what they wanted. They were still playing how they wanted. They didn't change a thing, and it was just truly unfortunate that, you know, it came down for Brentford, you know, to the very last minutes of it. I saw a fan run on the pitch, hug freaking Harry Wilson. Freaking all the stewards were grabbing him, but Harry Wilson hugged him back. It was crazy. Got a yellow card for it. I mean, yeah, definitely unreal, but masterful for sure. It was like one of those reasons that you watch the Premier League, describes the Premier League entirely. We knew this was going to be an insane game, a potential game of the week. You know, it definitely lived up to it, considering some of the results. I would say for me, though, this was probably the game of the week.
It was a really good game, and Traore just proving that he still got it. You know, there was a lot of questions. You know, a couple seasons ago when he went to Barca, that that loan move, and he comes back and he's playing out of his mind. You know, he's constantly getting assists. You know, he's slowly starting to start every game, and then Raul Jimenez, another player, you know, was out of the team, and Rodrigo Muniz was starting, getting his way back in. Reece Nelson, Iwobi have just been great additions to the team as well. Anthony Robinson, best left back right now.
Wouldn't say best, but I'd say he's up there. Josko Vidal.
He's fucking a center back.
Anyway, but
But
yeah, Anthony
yeah, he's still
Robinson's been
insane.
unreal. Anthony Robinson's been unreal.
Yeah, he's been unreal. Just, you know, the price he's still at Fulham. That was one player we thought for sure linked away.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what goes from there. You know, we'll have the next transfer window. I don't think Fulham will want to get rid of him quite yet. You know, they're having a good season. But the table, I mean, it changes a little bit for sure with Arsenal's loss. Not really too much Man City. You know, they always teeter 1-2. Forest, though, jumped to the 3 spot, 19 points. Chelsea jumped to the 4 spot. Arsenal at 5th and Aston Villa at 6th. Tottenham jumped to 7th. Fulham jumped to 9th. Brighton drop all the way down to 8th. Bournemouth jump up to 10th. Newcastle as well. Brentford drops down. United drops up, or jumps up. West Ham still. Leicester still. Everton still. Palace. Everyone, Southampton's the only one down there that really gained any points, and they're still in the relegation zone as it stands. But that, yeah, definitely. Erling Haaland doesn't get one. We know the burst is coming. We know the burst is coming. He got to 10, in what seemed to be 4 matches alone. Has only had one in the last 3 or 4. We know that hat trick's coming. It always is.
It's gonna be a week where I bench him. I just know it.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be bad. Everyone's gonna say here again he's gonna have 15. Everyone's gonna be back at or barely at 9, 10 maybe, but still quite unreal. We'll see. But we have a Champions League jump coming in hot midweek. Tough for Man City for sure, I know. But let's have a look at it.
Yeah, got some good games. Morning game. PSV Girona. Michael Oliver will be roughing it. English refs should not be roughing in the Champions League. Just saying, they're garbage. But I think should be a good game. Both teams kind of in the bottom half of this table. I'm probably expecting a Girona win over PSV.
Definitely.
Let's see what else we got. Slovan Bratislava versus Dynamo Zagreb. Respectfully, I will not be watching.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go with Dynamo though. I went with them last time. They got the job done, so I'll stick with them.
Just for the fuck of it, I'm going to go Slovan Bratislava. Just cause.
Sounds all right.
Yeah, and then we got Bologna and Monaco. Could be a good game. Could be a sleeper game. But I think Monaco pull it off and come away with the win here.
Going Monaco heavy for sure on this one. Should be a very easy win in my opinion. Yeah, definitely that.
Yeah, and then we got Dortmund versus Sturm Graz. Dortmund should win this very comfortably. I don't see why not. Maybe like a 3-0 win.
Yeah, should be a good one for sure. I'll take Dortmund all day long. Yeah, at least 3-0.
Next up, we got Celtic Leipzig. This one should be a pretty good game. Last time around, Celtic lost, or they tied against Atlanta, and Leipzig barely lost to Liverpool. So I think I'm gonna go Leipzig here, just because they haven't won a game yet. They need a win.
Definitely.
Some sort of relevancy.
Yeah, I'm going Leipzig for sure. Xavi Simons era game on the line.
Relax.
This is it for me. He's been irrelevant, it seems, so far this season.
Last season.
Yeah, but I'm saying this season. This season he's been a little bit irrelevant. So, dynasty game for him on the line.
Oh, brother. We got next up Juventus Lille. Both tied 6 points right now. I think I'm gonna take Lille, just because last time they beat Atletico 3-1.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Lille coming off the Madrid double, Real and Atletico. I'm going Lille all the way. Definitely a sleeper, a dark horse in this one. Juventus very, very good, but I'm going a little hype right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then these last two games right now, we got Liverpool, Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso coming back to Anfield.
I'm going Leverkusen 2-1 on this one.
Ooh, it's a good shout. But I think Slot Ball come through, get a win, but I think it's gonna be very slim, maybe like a 2-1 win.
Interesting. That should be a really good one for sure.
Yeah, it should be, one of the ones that we'll be watching. The other one that we'll be watching, Madrid Milan at the Bernabeu. Apparently, this is Vinny's revenge game. Apparently, that's what they're saying. I don't see it. I You telling me the Madrid team that just got dogged by a couple of 17-year-olds? Nah. I'm picking Milan this game. Captain America coming in clutch.
Not a chance for me.
2-0.
I'm going Madrid 5-0 on this one. Everyone's gonna be heated. Bellingham's gonna be pissed that his name wasn't even freaking as close to Vinny's in the Ballon d'Or race. Freaking Rodrigo, not even mentioned. Disgust. I think Madrid are going to go off. I think it's going to be 5-0. Milan are ass when it comes to playing big teams. Yeah, I'm going Madrid easy on this one.
Well, Milan. Captain America coming in clutch, buddy. Just watch.
No.
And lastly, for Tuesday, we have Sporting versus Man City. Should be one of Emery's last games, I believe. I think he has
Yeah, definitely. I
one
think
after.
he'll be by this time next week. He will have managed his first Man United game. This is going to be an interesting one though for sure. I would say, I'm not too sure exactly what to say. I'm gonna say though, Erling Haaland maybe doesn't get the start here. I think maybe he gets the rest. I'm thinking we just do what we can. He picked up a little injury yesterday in training. Very, very suspect. Want to give him some time. Um, you know, Savinho was on the bench but didn't play. He was never going to play at least. De Bruyne is also doubtful. They said he could have played maybe 10 minutes last time. Kyle Walker hadn't trained in 19 days before the start yesterday or 2 days ago. So that was quite unreal that he even started. Just not exactly sure. John Stones will be out for sure for the time for a while, and so will Ruben Diaz with injuries. So really not sure. They said for sure Stefan Ortega was going to start. He's been our go-to guy for the Champions League this season so far. Probably expecting Kovacic in there. No Jack Grealish for sure as well. It's really tough. Not too sure what to expect. I wouldn't be surprised with the loss, but obviously we're always looking for wins.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Sporting will have, something to play for. Trying to show that they'll be fine without the manager. Gyökeres, or Gyökeres, however you say his name, has been playing, pretty well. Will show, if he scores against Man City, like, hey, take me to the Prem too.
Yeah, allegedly supposed to be Haaland's successor at some point. Allegedly, Haaland's only 22. But yeah, either way, I'm hoping to see a good one. I'm hoping, we pull through. I would love to see the Oasis kits or the red kits this time around. I believe with the training kits, it was going to be the red kits coming. I still need to get that one with the Gorvy doll on it. Need to order it. Probably get it for the holidays, hopefully. But yeah, this will be a good one, I think, and going Man City for sure, all the way.
Yeah, I like it. I'm thinking like a 2-1 win for City there.
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably say same.
Yeah, so that wraps up Tuesday. We move on to our Wednesday Champions League games. We got Club Brugge, Aston Villa that started off. I think Villa's gonna keep up their insane form that they're on. They're leading right now at first, and I think they'll keep the momentum going. Especially having to bounce back from that horrible loss this past weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Let's scroll.
So then we got Shakhtar Donetsk against Young Boys. Respectfully, I will not be watching,
I'm
but
gonna I'm gonna go Shakhtar. I think.
yeah, I think Shakhtar will come away. Both teams haven't got a win so far, and I think Shakhtar will do it. Next up, we got Bayern Benfica at the Allianz. Bayern need another win bad. They only got one win, 2 losses so far. So we need a big game from Harry Kane.
I'm gonna go like 4-1 on this one for Bayern. I think they dominate.
Agreed, but don't sleep on Benfica
I'm
because
sleeping.
they
I'm
got
snoozing.
they got dogs.
I'm
Jesus.
snoozing on them, bro. Now Bayern's gonna kill it. I think. Maybe
Uh,
lucky if it ain't 8-1.
we move on to Feyenoord Salzburg. Think Feyenoord should win this. Salzburg have been lackluster. 3 games, 3 losses, 9 goals conceded. Make it 4 losses, 11 goals conceded.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Feyenoord though for sure on this one. Salzburg are just so bad.
Yeah. Next up, we got Red Star Barcelona at Red Star. I'm thinking if we see the Rafinha that we've been seeing, I'm expecting like a 4-0 win for Barca. This Rafinha's just been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, saying at least that. I was thinking 5-0. But yeah. Thinking Yamal hat trick for this one. Youngest
Be
ever. Youngest ever. I'm thinking.
would be insane. Next up, potential game of the day: Inter Arsenal in Milan. How has Arsenal struggled last time against Shakhtar? They've only got a 1-0 win, but then Inter also struggled with a 1-0 win over Young Boys. Uh, I think this game could go either way. I'm gonna go Inter 2-1 win.
Yeah, I'm thinking Inter as well. It's gonna be a haram ball session here. Ultimate defenses. I'm going Inter though for sure.
We're gonna
Maybe
see
like a 1-0.
we're gonna see the 4 center back, 3 DMs from Arsenal, and we're gonna see the 3 center back, 5 midfielder from Inter. It's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah, definitely.
But we move on to PSG Atletico, which should also be another good game at the Parc des Princes. Um, it's gonna be fascinating to see because both teams haven't been playing as that well. Dembele last time around was horrendous. Atletico got dogged, but to prey on PSG's downfall, Atletico 2-1.
I'm gonna say Atletico as well. I think they've been having a tough time, but not as tough as a time as PSG. So I'm definitely going Atletico 2-1. Julian Alvarez double.
Would be nice. Um, Next up we got Sparta Prague versus Brest. We we know who Gabe's going with, and I'm gonna join the train. Brest is taking it.
Yeah, Brest is taking it. They're gonna stay red hot in the Champions League. Yeah, that'll
We
be a
got
good one for sure, I think. But Brest, I think, easily have it in the bag.
yeah. Sitting at fifth right now, 7 points. You know, another one for them would make it very interesting.
Definitely.
And to kick off last game, we got Stuttgart Atalanta at at Stuttgart. Last time Stuttgart came out with a 1-0 win against Juve, and Atalanta drew against Celtic. I think gonna go boring result, 1-1 draw.
Atlanta, I'm going for sure. Atalanta, I'm going 2-0. I think it's an easy one for them. But yeah, you never know. There's got to be at least one draw coming up in this batch, so
Yeah,
you never know.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, you know, Tottenham will be playing in the Europa League. Um, so will United. Chelsea will be playing in the Conference League. Um, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there'll be some good matchups coming here pretty soon too in the next couple weeks. We're almost out of the group stage. I think maybe after this week it'll be 3 more match days or 2 more match days. Um, but yeah, it'll be pretty good. We'll have some massive ones like I think Liverpool and Madrid's coming up pretty soon. That'll be a massive one. Um, yeah, I mean Bayern PSG again. I think will come up here pretty soon. But either way, we will be there. It's going to be a good week for sure. Maybe not so much for my club. I'm hoping it is. We just need to get over the line to the break, honestly. But yeah, going to be tough. Will be tough. I'm glad we got at least a little cushion in the Champions League, but we definitely still want to stay in that top 8 and on the higher half of it. We're at number 3 right now. As long as we stay up there, we're pretty good. Aston Villa sit at the top, number 1, just above Liverpool. You still got Brest right there at 5, Monaco right there at 4, Leverkusen, Inter, and Sporting are the only other confirmed as of right now.
We'll be there. Champions
Yeah,
League, always exciting. You never know what you're gonna get.
absolutely. So yeah, we'll see what's going on, but don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Final thoughts.
I'm giving the Champions League games 2 booms.
2 booms.
Boom. Boom.
Thank you guys. You are kicking it with Gab
And Chuch.
N Chuch.
Boom, 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 boom.